You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Snooki and Jwoww After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Snooki and Jwoww After Show.
We should choreograph it again.
Oh my god, yes. I'm ready for it.
And
Here it comes.
pose.
Oh.
We were early.
That was a little early.
All right, you guys, we're trying the whole choreography thing for the intro to the show. Let us know if you like it. All right, so what's up, everybody? Bing is for doing, and we're here in the studio at AfterBuzz doing another episode of Snooki and Jwoww. It's episode 10 to be exact, and it's called Couples Hell. And this episode was definitely hell because everyone was arguing and fighting, and it was just a complete mess.
Crying.
There
was crying.
We had men crying in this episode.
Oh my god.
Unheard of. Even Roger mentioned that. It's just completely unheard of. But yeah, this episode kind of left off where we continued where we left off last time, where Snooki and Jwoww were pissed because they saw Twitter pictures of the guys with girls, and they were like, what are they doing? These are our boyfriends. This is my fiance. We have a baby, and he's taking pictures with these random girls, and he's all over them.
Right.
And it was all over Twitter, and the girls were tweeting about it. Oh, I met Gianni and everything. But, I mean, it was totally insane, this episode, because it was screaming back and forth, back and forth. But I think all in all, it ended okay. But
it did.
You know, we enjoyed it. And let me introduce now our hosts, because that's what we do.
Oh, hey guys. I'm Christiane Lopez here with the lovely
Gabrielle Loren. Welcome to our show. Well, anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. There was a lot of drama going on once again.
Of course.
So what did you think about the whole, Snooki and Gianni phone call? That's how the episode opened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they were enraged by the photos that they saw online. Figured, dude, our boyfriends are not going to get away with this. We need to get a hold of them and pretty much confront them, which, you know, I can totally take their side with that, because I would be bothered myself if I saw pictures of my boyfriend out in clubs, taking pictures with girls, arms around different girls that I didn't know. But, you know, in Gianni's defense, he lets Snooki know that that's my cousin and her friends. Mm-hmm. You have no reason to trip out. Like, please don't be insecure right now. You know,
even though it was his cousin, at first she wasn't understanding that, and she was just thinking these were girls that were all over him and he was all over them. And her fiance is out late hours partying. But in my opinion, if your boyfriend or fiance is on the phone with you, wasting his time for an hour arguing with you on the phone, telling you it's fine, we just took pictures, they didn't do anything, I love you. I mean, I don't understand why Snooki is so insecure that she has to keep testing him and keep being repetitive over the same issue.
You're right. I mean, the entire episode, I think there was a lot of arguments that were just going in circles because not one person wanted to suck it up and say, all right, fine, I'm sorry for overreacting. Or, I mean, that ended up happening eventually later on in the episode. But, I mean, we all have been there, though. When we're heated and we're in the moment, it's really hard after you've already expressed so much emotion, so much anger to finally, you know, be that person to take a step down. And, I mean, she's also pregnant. It's like, you're out and doing whatever the hell you want while I'm here with a fat-ass 55-pound belly. Like, that's not fun either, you know?
See, this is what I'm unsure about. As pregnant women are, they're emotional. Snooki said it tonight. I'm an emotional pregnant lady. And she thinks, well, does he miss being single? And she's having all these doubts about her boyfriend. Or fiance, I should say, not boyfriend, fiance. But she's having all these doubts about him, and I don't know if it's her being emotional because of the pregnancy or she's just emotional in general. And I almost think she is emotional in general because if we've seen the previous Jersey Shore seasons and everything, she's always been out trying to find a boyfriend. Like, she's needing a boyfriend at every moment, looking for that perfect Guido every time she goes out to the bar. Like, she's going to find him in the bar, which she kind of did, I guess.
Well, she did.
Yeah, on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Guido!
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Guido. I mean, she was living it up, but at the same time, as a single party girl, she was looking for her boyfriend for a really long time. And I mean, I think she does have insecurities because the person that is needing of a boyfriend is probably a little insecure.
So true. And I mean, let's be honest, women are just emotional beings. There are times, there are weeks when we just can't control our hormones. And I understand, or from what I hear from other pregnant women, like, you know, they're magnified or intensified like tenfold. And, you know, you can't be totally mad at Snooki for feeling how insecure and how emotional she is, you know, at the moment, because it's just hard.
So I think it's literally a combination then. It's a combination of her prior insecurities plus the intensified emotional pregnant lady.
Yes.
So
Yuck.
it's a little bit of both. Yuck is right. But you guys, if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you're enjoying this podcast, we'd love for you to visit our iTunes page, rate, comment. It gives us more visibility. And if you tell a friend, they'll tell somebody else, and then we'll get more views. Currently, our latest stat is that we are at 8 million downloads a week on iTunes. Round of applause, thank you.
OMG.
So it really helps us, and it gives us feedback, constructive criticism. You guys, please comment and rate on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. Love you guys. And we'll respond.
Well said, guys.
Thanks. So you guys can even call in, too. If you're a huge fan of the show, call in. We want to hear your opinions. I mean, it's always fun. We do it on the other after shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also in this episode, there was a Jenny and Roger fight that continued from last episode.
As always.
And I think this was even more intense than the Snooki and Gianni fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's throughout the entire series. They've just been building up, and things have just been, you know, a little rocky between the both of them. And we're not exactly sure where it stems from or why they're arguing, or, you know, if it's a combination or a deep-rooted issue between the both of them. But it's finally coming to that moment where they need to hash it out. They need to have that face-to-face and have that talk. And I mean, that's pretty much what they had, and there was a lot of emotions going on there.
Right. And I mean, in the last episode from last week, Roger was saying the nastiest things to Jenny, saying how insecure she was, how she belongs with her ex-boyfriend who's a mess up. It was just really rude, and coming from Jenny's point of view, I side with her, because this entire episode I side with her. Because then when they confronted it in this episode for this week, I mean, Roger acted like he wasn't wrong, and no, like, I should have said that to you, and I'm in the right, and I'm not going to apologize. And that's not a healthy relationship, because he's obviously stubborn and selfish, and he's always going to think he's right in every situation. But Jenny's kind of the same way, but a little more emotional because she's a female, so she just kind of sits there and says what she thinks, but she's not as vocal, I feel like, as she would be with a friend.
Right.
You know, because there's a different dynamic. And Roger is, like, very authoritative and demanding. And I think it's almost like he tries to make it seem like whatever he says goes.
I'm glad that she even made it pretty challenging for him to go over there, you know. I'm glad that she was a little bit stubborn about it, because, you know, it wasn't always going to be his call that easy. Like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, Jenny, I'm coming over and we're going to talk. I'm glad that she was like, no, I don't want to see you. I mean, obviously he ended up coming over,
right?
But I'm glad that she made him at least fight a little bit for it, because
yeah, I agree.
I was kind of like, well,
Makes
yeah.
him work.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I almost think that I'm surprised Roger showed up, because guys like him would usually be like, all right, you don't want me to come over? Fine, I'm not coming over. And then would not show up, and there'd be an even bigger fight.
But the fact that he did, which shows he cares, and much he doesn't want to act like it,
and he really does care.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously we get to that conversation later when they start to calm down, but I was loving, like, the crazy emotions flying everywhere when they were just, like, escalating and screaming over each other.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we talk about it? Actually, now that we're here, we might as well. I mean, yeah, the emotions were flying. They were in the room. Roger came over, and pretty much, like I said before, he was pretty much saying, I'm not going to apologize for Saturday, which was when they went out. He's like, I don't think I was wrong, and you're overreacting, and you're insecure.
Totally not the things you want to hear as a girlfriend.
No, and it's, you know, yes, they were insecure with the whole Twitter thing. You know, once the guy tells you it wasn't a problem, and you have like a trusting relationship in that sense, then it shouldn't be a problem. Don't make it something it's not. If he's never cheated on you in the past, which is something we haven't seen Roger cheat on Jenny. We haven't seen Gianni cheat on Snooki, as far as we know.
Right.
So therefore, they shouldn't be so insecure that the guys are cheating.
I mean, I guess that's why I was a little bit confused. I even said to you in the room, like, do we know really why they're fighting? I mean, obviously, it was just because of a lot of, like, exchanged dirty, messed up words to each other.
Right.
But it really didn't stem from a real...
It was a Twitter, the whole Twitter thing in the bar. And honestly, like, they went out, and I think Jenny's past relationships have really affected her. Because even with Tom, it's so messed up. He's suing her in court. I mean, the girl is damaged because she's had really bad relationships. And with Snooki, I mean, she's always looking for the one. She's been screwed over by a lot of guys. I mean, she's been punched by guys in bars. Like, I'm sure she's not very trusting of men either, so they both have their male issues and relationship issues.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that whole thing stems from. And, Roger and Gianni, they decided and made that conscious decision to be with these ladies. So if they know going in what those girls are like, they have to accept the insecurities that come along with it.
And here's where my heart dropped in their conversation. He pretty much tells her, he's like, well, you want to be single, then be single. What is it that you want to do? Because I know I've been in that situation before. And, with the emotions you're feeling at that moment, it's like, well, F you, screw this. I don't want to be in this fight right now. I do want to be single. But if, it's going to be an ultimatum, or if you're asking me to make a decision, there's no way I can really, honestly say to myself or to you, yeah, let's break up right now,
But this is, again, where I don't like Roger's attitude, because why is he directing everything at her? It should be a joint decision. It's not just Jenny. Like, you were mad at her also.
Right.
It's a two-way street. Do you want to be with her? Because if I was Jenny, I'd be like, well, do you want to be with me right now? Like, it's not just my decision.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, how is he putting this on her right now?
Yeah.
Like, that literally, like, mentally messes you up, because then you feel like it's all on you. Like, your future, your entire relationship will be based on your decision because he's putting it on her. And I thought I agree with you totally, Gabby. Like, he kind of put that on her, and I was like, wait, that's not right.
I know. And he said something else to her. I don't know if I could find it right now, but he literally directed his quote at her and pretty much said, like, you this and you that. And when I was in college and I took interpersonal communication.
Oh my God, you totally learned, like, the you, yes.
You're not supposed to, when you're in an argument with someone or even like directing something at someone, you never say you this, you that, because
it's always,
they feel, it's always I feel that this is happening. Like, you're not supposed to direct it at them, because then it's attacking the person.
Right.
And that's not okay. So that's negative communication.
Oh my God, it totally took stuff away from your degree.
I did.
It, girl.
Actually, that was one of my favorite classes, interpersonal communication. For all you guys out there, it is the coolest class, because you learn all these things you probably would just look over in your conversations and not realize how you're communicating.
A lucky guy, she knows how to communicate.
Exactly. It works in relationships.
No, it's so true. But and that is what they lack. I feel like it's so much easier for them to point the blame and say the you. And I think it wasn't until after when he said, do you want to be single? I think it was when it finally like clicked in his head, I really do want to be with her. I really want, for this to work out. And it was like, tear. Okay, what was it?
He said, we need to get to the bottom of your issues. He said, your issues.
Not
that
okay.
Is so bad. It's like saying, well, you need to get to the bottom of your like mental disability, like your problem with me.
Right.
It's just like so negative. I didn't like that at all. I think the biggest problem between Jenny and Roger is he's not going to change his ways. I don't think he understands how stubborn and selfish she is.
But yeah,
it's going to keep happening. It's going to be a recurring cycle. And obviously, we saw at the end of the episode, they kind of, made it all better.
Yeah.
And they definitely decided to be together, because they all went out. It was Gianni's birthday. Jenny called Gianni to bring him over to talk to Nicole, because Nicole wasn't eating and she was only sleeping. So, they literally went out that night for his birthday, and they were all over each other. Like, her body language, he's sitting next to her on the couch, and her legs, like, on him.
Oh, my God, saw that. I was like, wow, basically spoon at the table.
Yeah, they're
Get it.
And Roger even said in their conversation, like, we hate each other so much, but then we're so attracted to each other.
Like, we have this undeniable attraction they can't help.
Exactly. And you see it all the time.
And I think that, he realized his attraction for her when she wasn't backing down. You know, it wasn't those things where he's like, we need to realize your issues, we need to da-da-da, and she just like, all right, as if you don't have issues yourself. And that's when I think it clicked, and he was just like, okay, there's obviously a reason why we love each other. There's a reason why I love you, and I know for a fact that I don't want to not be with you.
Right.
And then he cried. Yeah, that's right.
And then he cried. Big old tough Roger cried, which I actually love. First, we saw him cry in the confessional, and he was like, what did he say? Whoever said real man don't cry would like to see that mofo.
Yes.
Pretty much, something like that. I was like, oh my God, Roger, you're amazing right now. Then my idea switched of him. Then I'm like, okay, he's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Because, like, he got emotional. He showed us how much he cares about this girl, you know? And, I mean, it was just funny to see because he was being real. He was being real with us.
That's what I wrote here. I was like, finally, real words, real communication. You know, they finally broke everything down, broke down all of the emotions, and just pretty much said what they've wanting to say the whole time. There is something about the both of us, you know, that makes why we love each other so much, and we need to understand that and just move on.
But see, the bad part about that is that they did move on that episode at night when they were talking, and they didn't really, like, they didn't really solve the problem because he got up, made a joke, and then it was all good. And she's like, oh, that's why I love him. He makes me laugh.
I felt that way too. I was like, I don't know if that's a real solution. It was kind of just like, oh, okay, giggle, giggle.
It's
We're
okay.
having fun
It's all
again.
better now. No, because now it's just going to happen again.
Oh, that makes me so
They're
nervous.
going to keep doing it because the next time she gets insecure, she's going to attack him. He's going to fight back, and it's going to be a whole argument. And he's going to verbally abuse her, and it's going to be a really bad scene.
Another cycle.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, they might wind up together because they both said that they are in love with each other. But is their relationship going to be good and is it going to be healthy? No, it's not, because it will never be great until they can solve those problems. Like, they need couples therapy, and they're not even married. You know what I mean? Like, they need couples therapy.
I mean, everyone just goes to their rocky points in their relationship, and then eventually, without them knowing it, things kind of smooth out and end up the way they should be. But you never know. I guess, obviously, it's definitely harder when you are in front of the cameras 24/7.
It is. And she even said in their conversation, you know, my life is different now. You can go back to what you've known for the last 13 years, and I can't. And obviously, I'm assuming she's referring to her fame and her friends and family. Everything's changed. But, like, in his life, it hasn't changed as much, you know, because he's not the star of the show. But at the same time, then Roger was like, and I agree with this statement, well, no, Jenny, it has to do with our hearts, and my heart's going to hurt just as much as yours if we break this up tonight.
Yeah.
Which is true. If they're both in love with each other, it's not about everybody else. Who cares what life you go back to? I think she's scared of not finding somebody else because of who she is now.
Like, I think that makes it a little bit easier in her head if it were to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it was her own, like, mental defense mechanism. But, no, I'm glad that he was very real with it and said that.
Right. And I could just, it's funny, I don't know if you were thinking this, but as they're talking and as Jenny's like, I don't know what I want to do, I have to think about it. In my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, I know exactly what she's thinking right now. She's thinking, I'm scared to let him go because I've put all this time and effort in, and I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm not completely happy, but I still want to be with him and I still love him, but I don't know to go with my heart or my head.
Yep.
That's exactly what was probably going through her head.
I think that many of us have been in that talk, have been in that room, in that situation where, you know, you have no idea what to think. All you do know is that at the moment you're not very happy, but you know that you would be dying inside and very unhappy without him.
Right.
It's a tough place.
At the same time, though, she did lose him. You can get over anybody. It's going to take time. It's going to be really hard. I say there's a 3-month thing. After your first 3 months, if you break communication and you don't pay attention to them, don't look at them on Facebook, no Twitter, no nothing, no phone calls, no texts, you'll be okay. You do a 3-month thing, you'll be okay. That's with anybody. That's my rule.
Oh, my God. I used to go totally cold turkey on the males back in the day, and it really wasn't that hard to let it go.
That's what it is. You have to be cold turkey.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then you're going to stay attached, and that's the whole point. But, I mean, she could get over him, but at the same time, I think she's just too comfortable in knowing how famous she is. She doesn't believe, I think, in her heart that she could trust men now that who she is. Because, you know, she can't find an average Joe now in Long Island or New Jersey.
Because she's always going to think in the back of her head, what is it they want out of me?
Exactly. They're going to have ulterior motives. You know, they don't even have to like her. They just want to be with her because who she is and go to the glitz and the glam, the nice events. I'll be on television. I mean, that side of it they love. They might not love her.
I mean, but that's why I think they're going to stay together.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will for a while. I just think it's going to be a reoccurring thing, like how Sammy and Ronnie were.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually the same situation.
It is.
Sammy and Ronnie from the Jersey Shore, very toxic relationship, always arguing, always fighting since season 1.
A lot of topics of insecurities. Yep.
But however, they're on, off, on, off, on, off. I mean, it's a constant cycle.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't even know what they are now. I don't know. I just remember I think this whole, maybe in the beginning of the season or the end of Pauly D, I remember they were together. Spring break time, they got back together right after MTV Spring Break.
I don't even know when they did their visit, that one visit when they had a dinner over at their house, when Snooki gave the entire.
Oh, yeah. And he said,
were they there?
What did he say? Like, I don't know what we are. Or, yeah, they were there.
Yeah, they were both there. I don't remember what he said about.
But they touched on it a little. But that's where I'm like, oh my God, they're so.
But again, it's not clear. Yeah.
Because they're in a bad relationship. Like, they love each other, but they hate each other at the same time, and it's the same dynamic. So that's why I think it's going to be a similar situation. Snooki,
It should be a love.
I mean, Jwoww, Roger, Sammy, Ronnie, same situation. Well, I hope they don't bring it into the Shore House in this next season 6. It would be honestly crazy to me if Roger lived in that house.
Oh my God.
There'd be a lot more problems if they were up each other's butts all day long.
That's a
It
lot.
would just be a mess. But let's get to the whole resolution of this episode. So
yes.
Jenny calls Roger because she knows Snooki's not going to handle
Gianni.
Sorry. Thank you.
Jenny calls Gianni. Yes.
Jenny
yes,
calls
yes.
Gianni because she knows Snooki is not going to handle the situation. Snooki's in bed, depressed over this whole thing. And it's Gianni's birthday, and nobody wants to ruin Gianni's birthday. I mean, come on, he's by himself.
Yeah.
So Gianni agrees to come over, gets Nicole up. They all go out, and she apologizes.
I thought that was the sweetest thing. Like, as soon as she opens the door, big hug, I'm sorry, let's go have fun and enjoy your birthday. That's how it should just, like, cleanly done. Easy. Quick, boom, all right, let's move on.
No drama.
Right, no drama.
Just are mature adults.
Yeah.
Snooki, you are ready to be a mom in my book.
You're grown up, girl. Woo!
But that's like step 1, and they have a great and even he said, Johnny was like, you know what, this is why I love her, and this is why we have a great relationship.
Yeah.
Because she said sorry, and that was it. Simple and easy. That's all your guy wants.
That's it.
So good job
Love
to
that.
Snooki. Very mature of her. I loved it. And so then after this, they got ready, went out. They went to some bar, celebrated. Snooki drank pickle shots.
Thought that was so cute.
That was cute. I like
You're like,
that.
woo, yeah, pickle shot.
See, so then it's like she's being included, kind of.
Yeah.
Virgin drink.
And I was super excited about it.
Yeah, it was adorable. So, I mean, they all had a good time, and Gianni
Yeah.
was happy and thankful that, you know, Jenny called. And it was funny because Snooki was like, well, I was going to call you. And they were like, no, she wasn't.
No. She was spooning with Croc, and there was no room for you.
But honestly, like, with a little push, it happened. They made up. Clearly, Jenny and Roger eased over their argument. And so everybody seems happy-go-lucky. So now I almost wonder what's going to happen in the next episode, because I can't even imagine where they're going to take it now.
No
Unless
idea.
somebody gets in another fight, you know what I mean?
I mean, it could happen. It's possible. It's been happening the entire season. But I thought it was really funny. We're like, oh, cool. They made up. Maybe Jenny and Roger are finally going to have makeup sex.
But you know what? Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No, and then they did something really funny in the episode where, you know, Snooki and Jwoww are in the confessional, and Snooki says, Roger doesn't get sex from Gianni, and then realizes what she said. She meant Jenny, not Gianni. Very similar names.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really funny. They were like dying, and then she said, wait, what was the question? Because she totally forgot the question the producers were asking her in the confessional when she said that, because it was that funny.
I'm feeling really bad that Roger and Gianni aren't having sex. Oh my God.
What did I just say? Oops.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Like, that's why I love her and this show, because they're just so wild and crazy, and anything pops out of this girl's mouth. Like, anything.
Anything.
So somebody needs to just do a book. MTV, if we're watching, do a book of Snooki quotes.
Snooki quotes, that's all.
Years. And it's just funny quotes.
Oh my God, out of control.
I mean, they'd sell so much. Like, they'd sell so many books off that.
I know.
They could do a whole blog about Snooki's quotes.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Just too many laughs. But yeah, so everything ended off on a really good note. But speaking of good notes, we have tons of news and gossip, like really juicy stuff. So I think we should get into that.
Oh my God.
What do we have for this week?
We do. So we found out earlier this week. That yes, season 2 of Snooki and Jwoww found a place to stay. Finally, because there's been a lot of ups and downs and deals here that kind of bailed out and canceled. So now they will be staying in Manchester, and they're going to start settling in. Actually, they just started settling in this week. And what's funny is, this is all a very quick turnaround. It's like they found the city and just started moving in. And, the neighborhood, the community is still kind of, in a limbo of like, do we really want this? There's kind of an uproar. But I thought it was kind of hilarious because according to TMZ, the producers visited the homes in the surrounding filming areas and passed out some Starbucks coffee mugs with a little note that I'm going to read it right now that says, "Dear neighbor, due to the swift move-in, we did not get a chance to introduce ourselves and say thank you for welcoming us into the neighborhood. As a gesture of our appreciation, we would like you to enjoy this gift bag, and a few cups of coffee on us. If at any point you have questions or concerns, do not hesitate to call. Thanks again, Jordan," from 495 Productions, the production manager of Snooki and Jwoww. And it's like, in my opinion, is that enough? Is that enough for the community?
Was there other stuff besides Starbucks in that gift bag?
It just pretty much says coffee mugs, candy, puzzle books,
Puzzle books? All right. They're trying to keep them busy or something from all the noise. I think it's definitely a generous gesture, and it probably made them feel, more welcome.
A little bit, yeah.
And stuff. But it's funny because the neighbors were very upset in the beginning because 495 didn't. They said that they were going to come over and brief everybody and let them know what was going on. They did not do that, so there was kind of an uproar.
Right.
And now they're doing gift bags to ease over those problems too. And it's nice, and I think it was a smart idea. I guess we'll see what happens.
We will see.
But
kind of interesting.
I'm wondering about this whole thing now. So they're setting up for filming. However, Snooki didn't have her baby yet.
Right.
So are they going to place her in the house right after she gives birth? How are they planning to film this? Because she's about to pop soon.
Right. That's what I'm starting to think. That's definitely something we have to look into, is when they're going to begin shooting, as compared to when she's going to have this baby. I know she's ready any day now, but yeah. Is she going to have a break? Is baby Lorenzo going to be part of the show that early? Who knows? We'll see, but it should be kind of crazy.
She's definitely going to have an infant for season 2 of Snooki and Jwoww, and honestly, how the hell is Jenny going to live with that? Because it's different when one's pregnant and they don't hear the noise of the baby. But when that baby is born and Snooki has to wake up 5 times during the middle of the night, take care of a screaming child, how is Jwoww going to cope? She is not trying to be a mother right now.
If I were Jenny, I think I'd only be thinking of the dollars. I'm kidding.
Honestly, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like Jenny's pretty much in the husband position.
Yeah, no, she's
living with Nicole and has to take care and help Nicole. Because obviously, if Nicole needs help, what's she gonna do? She's gonna ask Jenny. Jenny, can you help me? And that's the husband's job.
She's like nanny, child support, step-in father.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll have Gianni and Roger live in the house with them, because how could Gianni not live with his newborn?
Right.
Take care of the newborn, and they're filming a season. That's not okay.
And I remember when they had their engagement party. I know that we're really going on this topic, but we're just thinking about things. In the engagement party, he told Roger that they were gonna live in his parents' house after Snooki has the baby. They were gonna stay in the house.
They did say that.
I'm wondering if. So she's just going to pick up and leave?
Yeah, this is a very crazy. We're going to have to look into this and get back to you guys.
But we are all looking forward to season 6 of Jersey Shore, which is coming in a couple of weeks. And just a little news about them. Pauly D, our good old buddy, DJ Pauly D, has his fingers crossed for a Britney Spears collaboration. Obviously, he's really on his game with his music and has a good track for Britney Spears, kind of pitching it to her. The last he heard is that she listened to it. He had a phone conversation with her, and this is according to an MTV article. She listened to the song, and she said she'll get back to him. So, that'll be huge. And this is not something that he just making about of nowhere. He also opened for the Femme Fatale tour in 2011, that's
right when they were
Britney and Nicki Minaj headlined. So they obviously have a relationship. She knows that he can pretty much hold it down. So we'll see what happens there, and that would be huge.
I could see it happening.
I can see that too.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed for you, Pauly.
Yeah. And lastly, now our situation. So Mike Sorrentino, the situation, is trying to make a deal to license his trademark sayings such as GTL and twinning. But he's now...
I know everybody loves the situation.
As far as he knows.
We do. Yeah, right.
So right now, he's trying to work out a deal to trademark those sayings, but he's in battle with Viacom because, according to the MTV contracts, they claim ownership to all words, phrases, da-da-da. I mean, there's a little blurb here in his participation agreements. It pretty much says, in all ideas, gags, suggestions, themes, plot stories, and hereby related is all owned by 495 Productions. But, he's really trying to fight it. And
does it say what his argument is and how he's trying to fight it, or no?
Well, it looks like he's just trying to work out a deal. He's trying to license it, but they're already countersuing. They're already countering, so it's not like...
Imagine you still have to work with them at the same time. I mean, I know that they're filming the Jersey Shore, but is this going down while they're filming for the company? It's so awkward.
I mean, that's like the bigger conversation.
It's like, do I really want to work for these people? Like, they're screwing me at the same time.
Or it's like, it's also kind of, I forget the phrase, but I mean, you're obviously still getting paid by these people too, but you want to step on them as well. It's like, just wait it out.
But
I don't know.
At the same time, okay, I get the whole stepping on them thing. I think there should be a medium where he gets a percentage and they get a small percentage. It's like a manager or something.
Right.
Because I don't like the idea how networks try and take over, or production companies try and take over the talent and make more money off of them. Yes, I get you made them who they are by the show and the exposure. However, if someone's personality comes out on TV and they create their own sayings and lines that they have said from the beginning, that's their property, that's their speech. So, yeah, make a percentage off of it, but don't try and own the whole thing. I don't agree with that
I totally see your point. And part of me thinks, like, I wonder if it's a personal thing, because you look at Snooki, who has been able to franchise and branch off into so many different things and products and whatever, and there's been no say or no, kind of overriding from Viacom about that. But
I bet you they're involved in some of her businesses.
So it just kind of depends on how they kind of work it out. Yeah. But it's all very interesting. So, our situation is always in a situation.
But speaking of all of that we were just talking about, do you remember, if you watched the Jersey Shore, the little interstitial commercials where, like, for example, Snooki was promoting pistachio nuts?
Oh, yes. Things
like that. I think MTV is a part of that because it's thrown right after the TV show, right? It's keeping those viewers involved because they want to see the talent from the show. So they're not tuning out. And I'm sure that MTV created that deal for the advertiser. Listen, we have all these viewers that are watching this show. If you place your product here and they're promoting it, people will tune in.
Right.
And so I'm sure in that situation, MTV has their percentage.
But because he's kind of going around...
Yeah, like he's using things from the show, and he's using it to make money off of it. And MTV wants a part because it's their show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a battle. This is how the entertainment industry is. Everyone's suing everybody. Everyone wants to own this. It's very rough out there.
But I feel like I mean, if you compare Pauly D, who's like collaborating, Britney Spears, huge DJ, blah, blah, everybody loves him. And then, of course, there's always a situation, always in some kind of battle with something.
MTV was, I think, managing, or in some ways involved in his DJ career.
Yeah.
I don't know if he completely branched off on his own.
Right.
However, now he's signed with 50 Cent. But I'm sure it's like MTV's probably like the mother agency.
Yes. Of course.
They make their mother agency percentage like a model mother agency.
Yeah.
And then now 50 Cent, has him under the label, so he makes money too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's what's happening.
All right, so let's get into some predictions for next episode and the rest of the season. What do we think? Where is this even going? Everything's resolved, so it's like, what's gonna happen now? Did we see anything in the teaser?
Actually, I don't remember watching the teaser.
I don't think we saw it.
I don't think we watched it
for next episode.
I mean, there's only a few episodes left, and I think we're just gonna be able to see them, I don't know, do a lot more fun activities together. I don't really see much more drama being created. I don't know. I mean, because that just ended in such a resolved, smoothed out manner.
Right. I think now they're gonna just try to work on their relationships towards the end of the episodes. end of the season. They're going to just try and work it out and do fun things with the couples.
Yeah. I hope some surprises come along. Maybe like the other cast members come up out of nowhere.
Yeah, let's bring them back for another episode.
Bring them back. I'm getting bored. I'm not getting bored.
No, we're not getting bored. But I mean, we do love
we miss
the
them.
other cast members in the picture. We love them.
Yeah.
Because they're real too. That's why we love this show.
Yeah.
Everyone's real, upfront, and funny.
Bring in some gay Joeys. Can we get some gay Joeys back?
Bring back the gay Joeys, guys. Maybe he'll make another. Both of them will make another appearance. But we don't know. We'll wait and see till the next episode. But I'm excited for the end of the season and the start of the next. And obviously Jersey Shore. I think it's going to be amazing. And it's really sad and depressing. But it's the last one. I don't even know. I almost wonder if they're going to recast and do a Jersey Shore 2 or something.
God, I hope not. It'll be one of those like, I don't like that.
I don't like it either because it's going to be, people are going to think who they are. Like these random kids that audition and they're going to be like, listen, I should be on this show, and they're going to think they're the shit, and they're not. Their shit stinks.
It's like when a really good movie comes out with a sequel, and it's like it's never going to, like, compare and match up.
Yeah, especially when you recast it. Oh, I hate that. Like, when you see a movie, and then they recast the second one. I hate that.
Ugh.
I don't like it. But, all right, I guess we'll see you guys. Make sure you tune in to us next Thursday, same time, same place at AfterBuzz TV Studios. Where can we find you, Christy?
You guys can follow me on Twitter. That's at MissClo, MISSC_LO. And I'm also here on Sundays for the Married to Jonas after show.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really good show. I saw some stuff on E! Online today. I love it.
It's actually so much.
Watching along.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It's good stuff. So you guys check that out. I am at Gabrielle_Loren on Twitter and on Facebook at Gabrielle Loren with the number 1. So you guys can check that out. Also, I will be starting up Revenge this fall. It would be amazing. I'm also on E's opening act, which, by the way, Monday they have a special performance with all of the opening act talents at Universal City Walk, 7:30 p.m. It's a free concert.
Free!
Anyone can go. AfterBuzz TV, all the hosts will be there from the after show. And then we're going to be doing an after show in the studio. We have a special guest coming in who's not related to the show, but he has a very famous dad in the music industry, and he's also doing an upcoming music career.
That's awesome.
It's going to be set on fire pretty soon.
Very cool.
So you guys, make sure you tune in. You do not want to miss it. And until next week, we'll see you later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.